new SQL syntax in SAP ABAP 7.5. So this is a topic which I have chosen today to share my knowledge. Maybe you guys also can come up with what are the most common things which you are using. There are n number of things which SAP has provided us now to reduce the number of lines of code and to make it easy for the developer to achieve the functionality. So I just wanted to share what are the most common things which I generally make use. So let me share my screen. It's not about, though I have a few slides to share, but I prefer developing something on screen and I wanted to share that one with you instead of going with the slides. Okay. I just want to give one disclaimer first. Maybe I assume that many of you in this forum currently don't have knowledge on the new syntax. So that is the basic idea which I was thinking on. Okay. So based on that thought, I'll be progressing further. Maybe it sounds simple for few, but for a person who has not gone into new syntax till date, also I thought it should be easy for to understand. So that is why I'm coming with very basic information initially. Okay. So the first thing which we think is, when I say there is a new syntax, the first question which I had in my mind when I started learning is, will the old syntax work or not? It's not that the old syntax gets obsolete. New syntax will be working along with the old syntax as well. There are some instances where I can say that new syntax will suffice the purpose. They will be minimizing the piece of code. But at the same time, there can be some instances where all the functionality may not be doesn't fit inside the new functionality. In such cases, we may have to again go with old syntax and start writing our piece of code. There are instances which I came across. I'll let you know while I am showing some examples to you. Okay. So these are the things which I plan to share. First thing is inline declarations. Where do we do inline declarations? In selects, with loop, read, work areas or field symbols. Then there are few keywords of line exists or lines for internal table. The very commonly used keyword from my end is value keyword. And then for table expression corresponding condition, switch, concatenate, group by, reduce, and with. So I hope I'll be completing all of these in today's session. As far as I can, I'll try to complete. Okay. Okay. So as I have been mentioning that, let me start with inline declarations first. What are inline declarations? We don't declare anything, any data declarations anymore. Suppose if we are having a scenario where we have to retrieve the data from a database table and we are pushing into one internal table, what we keep on doing? We try to declare types, and then we go with the table type, and then we go with the data. Maybe we don't, suppose if we are having a scenario that we have to add some more fields to the select query once again, then we have to come to the declarations and we have to again add the field here in the declarations. So it's like cumbersome for us. Maybe we don't use the internal table multiple times. Then what is the point in doing lots of lines of code just for the declaration of internal table? SAP has given, or it has come up with many innovations, not only to reduce the development effort, but also to make the code look easy to understand. Okay. So what I can say is, select star from MAKT into, I'm just taking an example like this, into table @data LT MAKT up to and rows. So what are we doing here? You see that there is a new keyword which I have given, data, and I'm saying I'm giving the name of the internal table. How exactly it look like in case of older ones? What we do is, let me do with data declaration, LT MAKT, type standard table of MAKT, select start from MAKT into table, MAKT up to 10 rows. This was our old piece of code. So here, what are we doing? We are declaring the internal table, and we are giving the internal table to fetch to fill up the data. But this is not required anymore. This data declaration is not required. Until unless this data declaration is there, this select doesn't work. It ends up in a syntax error. So we will be having the new syntax stating that this internal table has to be declared by using the data keyword. Okay. Now, is it like, are we going to have the inline declarations only if we are having the complete DDIC structure? No, not exactly. Even if we are going to select few fields from a given table also, we can go with the inline declaration. So let me not declare the types again and do it. Let me directly give the fields here. Method, MAKTX. So even it does. Let me make use of this class to display the data. Until unless we display or we call the display method, whatever we are writing to the buffer doesn't get displayed in the output. That is why I'm writing it. So here we are going to get 10 materials with its description. Nothing much other than that. So, okay. So that means we are having an internal table with specific fields even. Let's do one more thing. Can we combine both new syntax and old syntax in a single statement? No, we cannot. Maybe we can have the same syntax, make use of old syntax or new syntax in a piece of code, but we cannot have both of them in a single statement. Suppose what I'm talking here is, can we have, because we don't separate the fields using a comma earlier, but as we made use of data declaration or data keyword here, we need to follow the new syntax. So we need to separate the fields with a comma. Okay, this is how we go with. Now, suppose we are having a parameter, p matter, type matter. Now I want to select the materials based on the input which is given on the selection screen. Okay, it doesn't make sense, but anyway, let me give it here. When I'm giving the material, we will be ending up with a syntax error here, because all host variables must be escaped with @. So that means with the new syntax, I need to give @ before the variable. It's not just for this one. Even for system variables, child language or ABAP true, for each and every variable, we need to prefix it with @. Only for constants, we will not be using it. For rest of the things, we have to make use of the @. Just it should be preceding the variables. Okay. Now, the next question which I was having is, can we make use of these data declarations, these inline declarations, along with join, or will it suffice only with a simple select? We can write even with join, or we can even write with for all entries. Let's start one. K Veblen, K Georgie, Wachner, Wagner, Vivek Askian, LT.
On condition is missing. Shell.
Yes. So what does this do? That means we can make use of inline declarations not only in case of regular simple select, but also with joins. Can we do with for all entries? Yes, we can do. But the only change or only addition, one addition which we have to think about there is we have to prefix the for all entries internal table also with at the rate, because that is also a host variable. So let me with LT orders is not initial. Select method from the table data LT method for all entries in. Here also we need to give at the rate, where method equal to at the rate orders open method. This is how we go with inline declarations in case of inner join or joins or with for all entries. The only change here is we need to have the thread even before the internal table. Okay. Now, so are the inline declarations confined only to the select statement? No, not exactly. We can have inline declarations at multiple places. Maybe I'll not reiterate each and everything. Let me share these slides with you later on in the group. So this is the link from SAP Help. It details out where at what all places we can make use of inline declarations. So the inline declarations are supported by multiple keywords. So this will be showing all of them. Maybe you can go through it after the session. Okay. At the same time, I just wanted to add some more information about the value keyword, because as I think that this keyword is extensively used in our piece of code. So I just got these examples from SAP Help only, nowhere else. So, but I jotted them down into slides so that it will be an easy reference for us to go through whenever we really require to write some syntax, because we are used to old syntax, and definitely it will be difficult for us to go with new syntax in the initial days. But at later point of time, we'll be thinking of how did we write in older syntax this particular statement? How did we spend this much time ending up writing lots of code just to meet this functionality like that? That's what even I feel like. Definitely, once you practice the new syntax, you will be feeling the same. Okay, let me, yeah.
For the value only, I was just asking one question. We used to use value only for constant declaration, as far as I remember, I know.
No, that value keyword is different, and this is different. For constants, we say so and so name, type, so and so, and we'll be giving the value of it, right? It's not like that. This is a different value keyword. Let me show you how to make use of value keyword, maybe in a couple of minutes. Okay. Let me complete with inline declarations, and then I'll start with value keyword.
Thank you.
Okay. Then, guys, as I said, I am trying to show the use of inline declarations wherever I used extensively. Maybe you can come forward and share your experiences also on most used keywords. Maybe at later point of time once I am done with this one. Okay. Okay. Now, how are we going to declare, or how are we going to loop this internal table now? Normally, how do? We loop at internal table. Either we make use of into and we declare a work area. But as I said, SAP is trying to remove all the data declarations. It is trying to reduce lots of pain points for us. So what we can do is ls. I don't feel like giving matter here. Make it. So normally what we do whenever we are trying to loop, we again go to the top of the code subroutine or the method or the top include, and we will be giving the declarations there. Now we don't require it anymore. We can directly give the inline declaration in the loop statement itself. Okay, is it confined only to the work area? No, not at all. We can have even with field symbols. So not with work area, we can also make use of field symbols. Now, suppose I declare this work area or field symbol here. Can I make use of this work area once again? Yes, you can. Suppose I'm going to loop this table once again, or this table or some other table once again. Here, if I try to give the same field symbol name once again, system will be throwing a syntax error for us. Because what is system doing whenever I am giving this field symbol or data statement here, it is actually creating work area or field symbol. So whenever system is loading this program during the execution itself, before the starting of the execution itself, the way data declarations are being done, similarly these declarations are also being done. Then only it starts with piece of code. So what it does here is, whenever I am doing it, once again making use of the data declaration for LFS MAKT, it says that this is already being declared. It is not that it will be declared only we encode that line of code. Let me show you one. 1 equal to 2. So what is happening here? It's not during the execution time. This condition will never get satisfied. So that means these lines of code will never get executed. But still, when I'm executing it, it says that it is already declared. So that means once we declare one work area like this using the inline declarations, it can be utilized in the entire code later on again. We need not do the declarations again and again. Now, is it again specific to loop? No. We can have it read statement also. MAKT, as the work area or the field symbol is already being declared, I don't make use of field symbol once again. But to make it easy for us, let's give some other name. Otherwise, it will be a bit confusing for us. So we can have inline declarations in select, joins, for all entries, loop, read, whatnot. There are so many keywords which support inline declarations. But these are the things which I extensively use. Then, most common thing which I make use of is line exists. Okay. Say, if, okay, we know about describe table, right? Describe table, ls, MAKT, lines, NV lines. So whenever we describe the table to get the number of lines in the internal table, again, we need not declare a variable to hold the value or to hold the data type of it. So we can have LV lines declared using the inline declarations. Then why to go with if describe table and have all these things? SAP came up with one easy way for us, lines greater than 0. So this will return the number of lines of this internal table. Why do have this describe lines table, describe table, internal table line, so on so once again? We can directly make use of this to know whether there are entries in the table or not. Okay. And then we have something like, we will be having some scenarios like, is there any entry in this table with a particular value or not? So what we do is, let me see if what is the data there first. Okay. So let me pick one of the material, Pg12. I guess I have. I want to know if there is an entry in this internal table with this particular material or not. Maybe just for an example, I'm just hard coding this material. I want to know if there is an entry at all with this material or not. LTMAKT. LTMAKT is an internal table.
Maybe is it something with the space
Sorry,
between?
no. I just
Shailaja, you have to use line exist. Yeah, that is fine.
Yes. So if line exists, or line exists, yeah. So if there is any entry with this particular material in this internal table, then only go ahead. What do we generally do in Golder syntax? We look for a read, we go with size RC check, and then we go with this if statement. We can have this line exists easily identifying whether there is an entry in this table or not. So this will be returning a Boolean value. So we can have this one in the if condition. Okay. Then
Shailaja, isn't it slower in terms of performance? Because in read we can do binary search and all. So does it work here as well?
now, okay, let me add. SAP is recommending us to make use of sorted table and hashed table instead of standard table. In case of sorted and hashed, we don't need to go for a binary search once again, right? So with all the keywords,
Yeah,
SAP,
definitely.
yeah, yes. So SAP recommends to make use of it. Then only the performance. We need not give any binary search in that case, right? So in that case, we can go ahead with the new syntax very well.
Yes, because this is the mistake I made in the initial days. I was using line exists on a standard table and it was very, very slow. And then I read it documentation again, and then I changed the table types here.
Yeah. So if we go with the sorted table, the performance of having a sorted table is much more when compared to the read on a standard table with a binary search. So that is why SAP is recommending us to go with a sorted or hashed table for that reason. So let me tell you one more thing.
Sorry, Shailaja, before we go ahead, I have one small question here. So just now, one of the guy was raising an issue, right? So when you use the line exist, it was consuming the more data as a performance issue. So
Yes.
what did he do? Like he created a table with the data statement upfront, is it, with the sorted type of sorted table?
Yes. We have to have a sorted table declared with the key. We'll be mentioning what are the components of it, right, in the key. So what is the unique key? He has mentioned it. Then he made use of the line exists, or we can make use of value statement, table expressions. All of them will be supporting sorted tables or hashed tables because we don't need to have binary search explicitly in that case.
Yeah.
Okay. In case if I create a table inline statement, it will be a standard table. It not be a sorted or hashed.
I guess
Yes,
it will be standard table only, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Okay, now let's try to have some new syntax for this statement. We call them as table expressions. Okay. Normally, what are we doing here? Whenever we are trying to read an internal table, pushing and we are pushing it to some work area or anything, do we actually populate all the? Or do we actually make use of all the fields in that particular work area? We generally don't, right? We try to make use of one or two fields also. In that case also, we create a work area and we push all the fields from internal table to work area and we start making use of one or two fields. Why to go with it? So instead, SAP has come up with a new syntax called table expressions. Let's say, suppose I want a material which is, let me try only with the index one. So I want to retrieve a material from MAKT. I'm telling you about value keyword now. Okay. I hope I am done with the inline declarations and these two. Okay. Let's start with value keyword. Value keyword is not something which is being given along with the constants while populating it with some default value. This is a different thing. This is used to assign the values to the variables, structures, internal table. Okay. So now I want to read my first record of this internal table, and I want to know what is the material there. Just for example, okay, this is how we try to retrieve the first record of the internal table, right? When we are trying to debug also, we'll say LTMAKT and what is the first record. So similarly, we'll be mentioning it. So I want to know what is the value of it there. We can declare a variable. So we are declaring a variable LV_MACNerd, and it should have a value. It should be populated with a value which is there in the first record of the LTMAKT. So this is how we do. Instead of loop or reading LTMAKT, passing the work area and again declaring a variable and again passing the value, instead of doing so many lines of code, we can go with a single statement. Okay, there is one more addition here. Let me try to get a short dump now. I know LTMAKT is having only 10 records. I go with the 11th record now.
Yeah, hi, Saljo, sorry to interrupt. Is it possible to have a with key thing as well on line 61?
Sorry?
If, for example, we want to filter out based on some material number, okay, like what we do in read statement, read table.
Yes, we can have it. I'll show you in the next example.
Sure.
Okay. We never go with indexes like this, right? But I wanted to show you to as an example. That's it, nothing much. I want to show that we can make use of indexes only. Okay. I want to show a short dump now because our life without short dump is not good, right? So I will be showing a short dump now for you. Okay. So the line is not contained in the table. So to avoid these short dumps, value keyword is having one more addition. Either we can make use of try and try catching the exception. Otherwise, we are having another keyword optional. So this will be checking if there is an entry. If yes, fine. Otherwise, it will be avoiding the short term. This LV_MACNerd will be blank, however, because there is no value. Okay. Now let's do. We have already declared the material. So value hash LTMAKT with key means whatever key we are giving in the read table, the same key let's give it here. Say I'm giving p equal. I can have. Do we have LAKTX? I can have multiple fields mentioned here. If I want to retrieve the complete work area, I can declare a work area so that entire value will be populated there in the work area. Or if I want only specific field, it works as a read statement with the key statement. I have to mention what is the field which is required for me. In that case, what I do is I'll say MACNerd. The white short dump I give optional.
Shailaja, what is the difference between if you don't use the value keyword and directly if you are reading with the internal table?
Okay, let's do it like this. Do you want to declare the variable initially? So,
no.
Okay.
The variable is inline declaration. So just want to use that internal table without value. So is there any semantical difference or both the syntax are same?
This one?
Line 61 and 63.
if it can end up in short term, right? If we don't have the value.
Yeah, no, we have to use the try block, but in the 61, 63, the
I don't
only
think
difference.
there will be any difference. Yeah, I don't think there will be any difference. Okay, suppose if we want to override the value which is available here also, what we generally do is, I see some piece of code where they'll mention equal to 123 like that. So we can populate the value in the internal table of that, taking the index, and we can populate it even like this. So I see some piece of code like that also. So I don't think there will be difference between value keyword with and without value keyword even. The only addition which I can see here is with option, we will not end up in a short term. Because I see in regular real-time developments, we will be ending up in short terms, or because we are not sure what sorts of data the particular program will be handling, right?
Yes. So optional means you don't need to use the try catch block.
Yes, we need not.
Okay.
Maybe Shailaja, maybe the difference would be like here you use value hash, right? So on the left hand side, you need not to declare the local variable of any type. So you need not to know the type of the variable. But whereas in the
Here we
second
have,
statement, you
yeah,
should know the type. But when you are using value, then type is not needed. Value hash. It will dynamically take the type from the right hand side table. So let us say when you are doing any dynamic programming at that times, you may make use of it.
maybe here in this scenario we have already the value variable declared, right? So maybe for that reason it doesn't matter here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But still we cannot use optional right there.
Yeah.
If we use
Sorry?
optional, it will give dump. I mean, if we can't use optional right there.
No, we cannot use optional here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Optional, can you just explain what actually optional means? It's only for try catch block replaced to an optional keyword.
Yeah, instead of having try catch block all of it, and to avoid the short term, we can directly make use of optional. For every variable population, it doesn't look good if we keep on adding try catch like that, right? So we can directly add the optional keyword. Even with try catch block also, the value doesn't get populated, right? The only thing is we'll be catching the exception. But here in this case, there is no point in maybe in some instances, maybe we have to catch the exception, we have to take it forward based on the returned value. But here, suppose if we don't want it, we just wanted to know whether the description is, suppose if you are having a material, I want to show the description if it is available. If it is not available also, that is fine with me. In that case, what is the point in having the try block and having a catch once again? We can directly say, check for this description. If it is there, fine. If it is not there, also it is fine. So in that case, we can make use of this optional statement.
One more question. Sorry, do we need to write if Saisabarsi after all these statements? What do you suggest?
No need. It doesn't return a Saisabarsi like that at all.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Then let me do one more thing here. Okay. Here, why did I make use of hash? We can make use of some table type or types also here. We can make use of some data element also here instead of just hash. Okay. So let me start with structures. Till now we were confining ourselves to the variables only. Let me start with structures also. Okay. Now I want to have a structure. Okay, let me comment this. We'll be having issues with data declarations. I'll make use of the same name again and again. LSMAKT, value, EYMAKT, and I want to populate some values here. In that case, I can say 1, 2, 3, and MAKTX is equal to DEF. What is the earlier user? Okay. how did we used to write earlier in earlier days? ls makt hyphen matner so and so, ls makt hyphen maktx so and so value. We used to write all the lines of code like this. Instead, we can have all of them written using the value keyword like this directly. All the fields can be populated. Okay. We need not have the same statement repeated, ls makt repeated again and again. Now suppose I have one variable ls makt or else type py makt. I want to do a I want to do move corresponding ls makt to ls makt new. That's how we used to do. Suppose I have a requirement that I don't want to populate material or maktx. Either one of the field I don't want to populate into the new structure. What we used to do, we copy that particular value into a variable and we do the move corresponding, and we again try to override with the new variable. Instead of it, we are having one keyword again, ls makt new is equal to corresponding hash ls makt. This is how we replace move corresponding. At the same time, as I have mentioned that suppose if you don't want to copy a particular field while doing the move corresponding, that one it is not feasible, or maybe we have a workaround, but it will not be feasible directly using this statement. So what we can do is corresponding so and so work area except maktx. Let's see what is there in ls makt new and ls makt. So we did not have this maktx populated because we said don't copy it. Okay. And another one which I came across is, okay, there are some instances for us where the fields will not be having the same name. So I have two different structures now. When I'm doing move corresponding, what happens? It will be moving, like it will be checking the name of the field and it will move in the values. But here what is going to happen? Material and material new are two different fields. Definitely we will not be having the output whatever we have expected. maktx anyway we are stopping it. So material also doesn't get populated. So what can we do is mapping matner new with matter. So for one or two fields, what is the point in writing additional piece of code? So we can have everything in a single statement. The only challenge for us would be, normally if we are having an issue, we keep on debugging it. That is not possible because this is the entire single statement only. So it copied to the new value. Does anybody want to add? Mahesh, I think I am running out of time.
I think we can map the fields also, right, Shailaja?
Sorry?
Inside of the, see, you are making the corresponding, right? So this corresponding will almost work like a move corresponding, okay?
Yes, yes.
Just it's additional only. Yeah, but the advantage is like, you know, we can declare the inline declaration also with the line number 83. And there is another way, we can also map the fields, yeah, inside multiple mapping fields, right?
We can have multiple fields.
And there is a new loop statement, I think. Are you covering that? First statement is also being there.
Yes, I'll be covering one test case. Yeah.
Shailaja, we have another 5-10 minutes you can take.
Yes.
Five,
Yes.
5-10 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Another one which I want to share is about. This is all about structures. Let's start with internal tables. Let me populate ranges first. Type range of method. Suppose if I want to populate a ranges using the values LTMAKT, how are we going to do? We will be LFSMAKT LR Mackler is equal to value hash. This is an internal table, right? Till now, this is only structure, so we have directly given the fields. Now, coming to the internal table, we need to have separate rows and we'll be having the internal table in the format of rows, right? So we need to populate them as rows itself. So sign equal to I, option equal to EQ, and row is equal to LFSMAKT method. This is how we populate. But now, if you are doing it, what is going to happen is we will be having only the last entry available in LR Mackler. The reason is we need to have an append statement instead of just insert statement. So for that, we have a new keyword base LR Mackler. So that means this works as an append. If we give base, the existing thing will be there. In addition to that, the new entry will be added up. Okay. And suppose if we LR Mackler. So we are populating it like this. Now I have sign and option common, right? I don't want to give it here. I can give it here even, because why to have repeated things again and again? So we can give sign and option just beside base also. Okay. And now I have one requirement, like suppose, just for example, if the material starts with T, then only I want to populate it, otherwise I don't want to. So what I can do is, I have a keyword condition hash when material equal to TG12. Then populate the material. Okay. Otherwise, don't populate it. Else, something else. Say 1, 2, 3. So that means I have given a condition along with data population. Okay. So only if the material is TG12, then the value of the material will be passed. Otherwise, we can have another else statement. Okay, only with TG12 we have got it populated. For rest of the things, it doesn't require. It goes to else statement. Okay. TG12, TG21 also. Say I wanted to populate it. We can even have one condition like this. We are having the same value multiple times, right? As I said, SAP doesn't want to have everything repeated like this. So it also has given one more keyword for us, which is switch. Whenever we are working on interfaces, generally I make use of these keywords, because based on the data which is flowing in, we may have to write the piece of code, right? Oh, it got it. In addition to this, let me have this switch statement also. switch hash. I'll just have the variable name here. When guys, can you mute? I hear some sound from TV, I guess. So we can make use of switch statement also if at all.
Shailaja, you are on mute. Shailaja.
Okay. So instead of having a loop and then coming with the value keyword, what we can do is we can directly populate material value hash per work area in LR method, and we can populate the values. And is equal to I. So it is something like we are having a work area, we are making use of the work area there. So like this also we can populate the values. Material doesn't have, sorry, it should be low. Another one, I am running out of time. Mahesh, maybe I'll cover it up later on, maybe otherwise. I wanted to cover about group by and
Yeah, sure, Shailaja. If you want to just talk about it, you can just talk about it.
Okay, let me, I have the example study. Maybe I'll not do it.
Yeah, that is better. You can just show them and
yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe she can take another 10 minutes because I think I'll hardly take like 30 minutes top. So it's fine, I think. This is getting more interested actually.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
You can
Yes,
take this
absolutely.
example. That is better instead of coding.
Yes, yes. So what do we, I mean, we know about control break statements, right? Well, at first, at last, at new, at end of a particular field like that. What are the ground rules which we generally follow? We have to sort the fields with in ascending order, and then we need to have those fields, whatever we are going to give in control break statements, as the very first fields. Otherwise, we will not be making use of those control break statements. We will not be having the correct results. So instead, we can make use of this group by keyword. Assume I have fetched some data. Material, LT, maybe okay. Let me make use of this. I'm getting some data. So here I am trying to group them by Veblen. I should have given some more field. Okay. So that means I'm grouping by Veblen, and then these are the keywords: size and index. I will show you in debug mode what exactly these will be having. Size will be, suppose I'm having a material, sorry, one order and item, and I have given those fields as group by. So with that given set, how many duplicate entries or how many entries are there with that particular key, whatever we have given here in the group by statement. So that will be the group size. And how many times this set has, how many sorts of sets, sorry, how many sets are there in this sort are being held with index. That means, suppose I have a order and 10, 1, 2, 3, 20. Then I have 2, 3, 4 order, 10. Suppose I am giving with Veblen. So in the first loop pass, so these two records are being considered. How many entries are there here with the same 1, 2, 3 key, whatever I have given the group by? There are 2. So the group size will be 2. The outer loop and the inner loop. This is not a nested loop. Okay. So the outer loop and inner loop are just for understanding purpose. I'm just using those terms. But otherwise, this is not a nested loop. Okay. Now coming to the index, whenever it is looping to the very first set, the index will be 1. With the second set, it will be 2. So for this set, it will be 1, and for this set, it will be 2. Okay. So we can have them in ascending order or descending order. Both will suffice here. And then we have to pass this one to a group. And then we have to say this is now LFS group is like an internal table for us. So we can loop through the group. So that means it is almost like at new and at end. Let me check if I can find some data here. LTVDAP. Oh, lots of code I'm missing. Let me try to debug and show you only to see what will be the values of group. Let me run it first. So I have one Veblen with 2 materials. Okay, for rest of them I'm having only. Okay, for one also I'm having 2. Okay, so let's see. Now we are with first Veblen, right? So what would be the size of it? LFS group. How many are there? There are 2 because I am with Veblen 1 and there are 2 entries, one with 10 Posner and 20 Posner. So it is having 2. Okay. When I execute with the next statement, so it is displaying 2 entries there for us. Now it came out and now it will be with Veblen 2. What will be the size of it? It will be only 1. What is the index of it? Because we are reiterating or the unique key is how many unique keys are there? It will be taking that index there. So let me take over the breakpoint. We don't. So at new. Okay. So you can see that it is executing one set of them at any point of time.
Shailaja, one question here. When you are grouping, right? How did the system know that it must be grouped based on Veblen and say not material number?
This one, group by.
Okay, the first parameter for group by will be the reference column.
Yes, I can group them based on material also.
Okay, if I say like this, which means the system know that okay, the material number is the base, or it will be the combination of material number and Veblen.
No, not problem. Whatever fields which you are giving here in group by, that will be the combination.
It's not like, you know, when we use this control statement, right? Like at first and all, it takes the takes all the fields before the mentioned column, right? No, not like that.
Not like that. Not like that.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Okay. So okay. You see that I'm giving the material, so I have different set. I should have shown the material also here. So for a given set of materials, it doesn't matter what is there in the previous fields or not. In case of control break statement, we have to make sure that we have all of them in the starting in the like they should be starting fields. It's like that, right? It is not required for us. We can have 2 also fields, Veblen, Fastner, like that. This example is not a right one for to show this.
But yeah, I understand that. Okay, thanks.
Okay, another one which I wanted to show is okay, reduce. This is also one common thing which we generally encounter. Normally, whenever we are trying to populate some field into some data into application server, firstly we will try to have the column headings. The first entry will be like that, right? So what we do is we will loop through, we make use of concatenate statement. Concatenatum so and so like that fields, and we'll be giving it to a work area and we'll be transferring that. Instead, what we can do is we can make use of reduce keyword. What it is doing is, it is actually, this is a local variable. We call them as helper variables. And I'm declaring a variable value for work area. I assume that I want to concatenate all the materials and I want to show it as output. That's it. So I'm looping through my internal table, and it is having next iteration variable is next. Like it will be like a loop pass now. Okay, for so and so, the next value will be, value should be populated with material, and value will not be initialized every time the loop passes. Okay, it will be having the previous value. So for that reason, I want to concatenate the existing value with the new material. Like that, I wanted to do it. Why did I give condition here is, when I'm adding it like this, even the first column also is having the ampersand displayed there. That is why I just placed one more condition. It is more or less like loop at lt vback, and I'm concatenating all the materials. Instead of writing all those lines, we can make use of this reduce statement. So what will be the output here is, it will be concatenating all the materials. That's it. All the materials are concatenated. This is how we generally do to show the labels, right? Is it clear? We are looping to internal table. To hit the, or to initiate the next loop pass, we are saying that next keyword is there for it. So what should be the value of it? It should concatenate the material. The previous value of the loop, the value of the val in the previous loop pass, and the current material. We cannot debug it. Otherwise, I could have shown it. We cannot debug it, right? Like those also, we can make use of reduce statement. Okay. One small addition for corresponding is, we have discarding duplicates. Hello. Okay. We have discarding duplicates. Suppose if we want to populate somewhere. Guys, can you go on mute? I am hearing an echo.
Yeah, please proceed.
Yeah. So if we want to populate the values from one internal table to other internal table, but I don't want to have duplicates. In that case, we have to have the sorted table with whatever key which we don't want the values. So with that key, we have to declare, and we can make use of discarding duplicates. This is also another useful thing which I use. Okay. And one, yeah, this is the most useful part, using with statement. We can make use of this as a inner join or as a subquery also. So what are we doing here is, normally in some scenarios, what we do is, we need a particular set of materials of particular type, and only these sort of materials are required for us while retrieving the orders. This is our requirement. What we do a select on Mara with MAKTL, and we get the internal table, and then we do a for all entries, and then we will be getting the values from VBAP. That is how we do. Instead, what we can do is, we can start with a with statement. With, this is the name of the, maybe you can think that this is an internal table. Okay, this is the notation we have. This is available only within this select. This material will not be available outside this select at all. We can have n number of selects written like this. These are called common table expressions, CTE. Okay, so here what I'm doing is, I'm getting the materials, selecting the materials from Mara with some condition. Okay, and I'm using these materials inside my select, and I'm doing it with inner join with these materials, and I'm getting the data. These are called common table expressions. Comment on this. You is also not required. So with materials is the internal table for this, and that is used as inner join. We have all the materials with L001 only, and with that only we have done a select on VBAP. Instead of having it as internal table or inner join like this, what we can do is we can just comment this. We don't want an AKP now. I want the values only from this. I can have it like this also. We will be ending up in some situations like this where it can be used as a subquery. So we get the materials that is available here, then only make use of it. Otherwise, do not. And one last one for the day. Suppose whenever I don't know if all of you have developed some classical reports or not, but the common requirement for us is what are the number of success records, what are the number of error records, like that. Then in that case, we make use of concatenate statement. Concatenate works only for C and DT and string variable types. For rest of the data types, it doesn't work. So we have a pipe symbol which can be used to concatenate even strings, integers, everything. So what we can do is say I want to have a string, type string. I want to write some text, total number of records. Suppose I have a variable LV success records. I have to enclose it inside parentheses, flower braces. Okay. LV success, type I. So I give value 10. LV str. Okay, we have to give a space. So whatever space which we are giving, it will be taken. Okay. We can make use of text elements. We can make use of variables, and we can display the content like this. Otherwise, normally if you are making use of concatenate statement, we cannot concatenate LV success because of the data type of it, which is I. And another one which I have recently learned is, to be clear, okay, let me take up some API sales structure. Okay. Okay, structures, right. I'm just taking it randomly. Okay. Nothing in specific. Data ls structure type. So we have multiple fields, and I want to populate X with for all of them. Okay, this is some typical scenario in case we have. So how do we do it? Clear with abap true. It populates X in all the fields. We need not write. We need not get into like each and every field, loop it and populate it. clear statement is having this addition. It will populate the value in all of them, in all the fields in that structure. Yeah, I'm done with today's session.